So we've got a few videos coming today. There is lots to cover, lots to talk about, lots to get hyped about. But of course we are starting with my original loves, the thing that I at least thought I was most excited about seeing at the previews, although there was some tough competition for that, I will say. But we are of course starting off with the Dark Angels, and they had a couple of incredible units revealed last night or this morning. One of them was leaked a bit earlier, the Deathwing Knights, but we can now see that in much better detail. And then of course the big, terrifying, merciless interrogator Chaplain himself, Asmodai. First up, the Deathwing Knights. We now have, as I said, a much nicer, more high-res picture of them, and they still, to me, just look absolutely stunning. I really do love everything about them. I love those medieval-style Terminator helmets with that metal-studded banding down the center. I love how they have kept that Dark Angels iconography with the smoke sensors, the knives, and all the ornamentation around their belts. I just think it still looks every inch a Dark Angel, and they've done a really good, faithful glow up of the Deathwing Knights that we currently have. And the weapons as well, I just think they are such a big upgrade too. For me, the swords and the maces, they are both just perfect. I actually really do love the maces. I've seen a lot of people umming and ahhing about them, but I think they're much better than the current ones. They just look equally as menacing and cool, but they just look a bit more realistic and usable to me. And I know there is a case for 40k being over the top and crazy, and sometimes that works. But in this situation, for me right now with these, I think those maces are just much better than the big ball spiky ones that they currently have. I just think they look cooler, they look more practical, and they just look more fun. It does appear, although I'm not sure it was actually confirmed, but it does appear from the article that the champion, the knight champion, has lost his flail. That is a shame because that was quite a cool weapon, but he can now take a choice, like the rest of the squad, of either the sword or the mace. So you can kit them out to, presumably, we didn't see any rules or anything, but you can kit them out presumably to be either really quite punchy against vehicles and elites with higher strength and probably more damage from the maces, or if you want more attacks and probably better AP for anti-infantry, anti-chaff, then the swords will probably provide that. So there is a nice bit of customization to them, and I really hope that both of them are at least equally viable in some way, so you can almost kind of choose whichever you like the look of most, because they both do look really awesome in my opinion, and I can't quite decide whether I want a squad of full maces or a squad of full swords. I will probably end up getting two squads so I can do one of each. The only slight negative about these models for me compared to the current ones is actually the shields. Now, I still think they're cool, I still like them. I love the fact that they are full-size, broad, knightly shields rather than the smaller, squarer ones that regular Assault Terminators have. I've always preferred that slightly bigger, like wider look to the Deathwing Terminators and the Deathwing Knight shields. But they do look a tad plain compared to the current Deathwing Knight shields. And what I mean by that is there is a lot more empty space on these ones compared to the current ones. The current ones are basically jam-packed with details and like imagery of angels and wings and all these other motifs. And these guys, they've got stuff on them. They've got the swords and everything on them, but there is a lot more empty space compared to the current ones. So that's my only bugbear. They still look good. I still think they look fantastic as storm shields. I just think the current ones do look a little bit better because there is more space to kind of, well, not more space, there is more on them to kind of paint up and make them look really cool and unique and interesting. But these are still really good. I still really like them. And I think apart from that slight bugbear, the rest of this kit to me is just spectacular. It's one of the best looking Terminator units I think we've ever seen across any game system, Heresy or 40k. Asmodai also got shown off, and I think we kind of expected the reveal today to be either Belial or Asmodai. There have been so many rumours about one or both of them coming, so I don't think this was a huge surprise, but it was still really cool to see. And we've seen GW a lot recently, starting from things like Mephiston try to emulate old artwork on their redesigned characters. And they have done a really good job with Asmodai here. They have very clearly tried to emulate that classic bit of artwork of the interrogator Chaplain that you can see on your screen now, with him, standing really stoically, Crozius held by his side and his sword firmly planted into the ground, or rather in Asmodai's case, into the helmet of a poor unfortunate fallen that has presumably just been beheaded by Asmodai. He does look really cool, really menacing, and I really like it. Some people may say he looks a bit static, and I do agree, it is a very static pose, but I think for Asmodai that's not necessarily a bad thing, and if they were trying to recreate that artwork that we had on the screen, they have done a really, really faithful job of doing that. I like the fact as well that he has a few options to him. He isn't just one build for everything. He has 2 helmet choices. You can either go for the hooded or unhooded version, and actually seeing his full skull themed helmet for the first time is really awesome. It does look genuinely terrifying and menacing, although I do prefer personally the hooded version. I've always preferred Dark Angels in robes and hoods. So whilst I think the full skull themed helmet without the hood does look great, and I will probably use that helmet elsewhere, for Asmodai, I really like the hooded option, so I will probably be using that. I just think for characters, having the hood up looks a little bit better. And then in his backpack, he actually has a few choices as well. You can either build him with the smoke plumes spewing out beneath him and onto the ground, or if you would rather have a slightly more minimalist image of Asmodai, you can do it without them. Again, I think personally I prefer the minimalist look, and I will probably build him with just a regular backpack without the plumes of smoke. But I will say for sure, the smoke effect is really cool. I do really like it. I just don't think I could do it justice. So I think someone that is more skilled or a better painter than I am could do some really awesome work with that smoke and make it look really mysterious and spooky and cool around Asmodai as he stands there like surveying the battlefield. So I do actually really like that. I think it does look good. I just personally don't think I could do it well enough to make it worthwhile. So I'll probably do it without the smoke, but I can't wait to see what some people can do with that smoke effect backpack and make it look really cool as this big centerpiece unit. We also know that the Codex is coming in early 2024, but the article does also mention there are yet more secrets to come for the Dark Angels. So there is almost certainly some other units to be shown off, just not quite yet. I imagine we can be fairly confident that Belial will be coming in this revamp, refresh, rebrand, because there are new Terminators coming and Belial is the Terminator HQ for the Dark Angels, so it would be weird if he didn't get that upgrade alongside them. And he is Finecast, so I think it's almost a certainty that he will be coming too with the Codex. But I would also really, really like to see and get confirmation on whether this Knight kit does indeed allow us to build regular Deathwing Terminators as well, and maybe, like I mentioned yesterday, a command squad as well. On top of that, I'm also imagining a combat patrol or a battle box will come alongside them. That has been rumoured for a while. What I would like to see personally is a battle box with Belial, Asmodai, maybe 5 of these Deathwing Knights, and then if they are coming, perhaps 10 of the new Deathwing Terminators as well, to round out this elite first company task force that you can use in your games to hunt down the Fallen. I think that would be really cool, and it would be a load of new exciting kits to sell, and I think it would just sell really, really quickly. So that is it for the Dark Angels in this reveal. 2 absolutely gorgeous units shown off with the promise of more to come. But as always, I would really love to know what you think. What do you make of these 2 units? Which of them is your favourite? And what else are you hoping to see with the Dark Angel Codex release? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.